just a definition of savior syndrome. What does it mean? This is psychological disorder characterized by a constant need for gratitude and recognition from others. This syndrome includes an empathy and continuous need for sacrifice for others, and it also referred to as codependence. So I think, and this is what I wrote, just the introduction, I'll read for it, that the inclination of African countries to sever ties with former colonizers and establish new relationship with Russia or China is not a bold move, but rather a sign of a savior syndrome. It illustrates how deeply Africans have been affected, leading them to lack belief in themselves and instead look to those with white skin for validation. I'm not going to read all of it. Please, you can go and check it out, and you can read all of the article is available on my ex, Mika Chavala. All right. Hey everybody, this is Mika and welcome back to SNOA. First of all, guys, if you're new to this family, please subscribe, like, follow us on our social media, TikTok, X, Instagram, Mika Chavala, Swahili Nation. Also, if you would like to support us, support through the Patreon links in the description. You have Patreon, we have the membership, we have PayPal, we have Super Chat, Super Stickers, Super Things, all of that. A special membership, guys. Please sign up for the membership here on Swahili Nation YouTube to support and stand with us. I'm going to talk about something today that is happening, actually started to happen since on August 1st in Nigeria. We all know that there have been a couple of protesting going on around the world. I can't just say Africa, but around the world. And I come talk a little bit about the UK another time, but Nigeria, they started to protest on August 1st, and basically because of the bad governance that has been going on in Nigeria with President Tinubu. Last year, President Tinubu made a decision to remove subsidies for oil. As a result, there have been a skyrocketing of the price of the oil as well as other products. And the economy of Nigeria has been really going very bad, and the inflation, it went really high until June. It went all the way to 34%. Imagine inflation of the country rised up all the way to 34%. That means the price of the commodities and goods, it has been going high, crazily insane. And this is because of the policy of President Tinubu of Nigeria. And so people are fed up. People are tired. People, they don't like this kind of life anymore. And we've seen the same thing that happened in Kenya, but now it is happening in Nigeria, and people have been protesting, going outside protesting and be like, you know what? We don't need President Tinubu anymore. This is not our leader. We are our own leader. You know, we would rather have our soldiers coming and take over our country than have. This is what has been going on in the protest, actually. But that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. People should raise their concern. People should speak about what they want. You know, people, they should demonstrate and all those stuff. It's cool. It's really important to do that, to raise our voice, because they kind of feel like sometimes our leaders, they don't really understand what is going on in the continent. The wave of this young generation, you know, wanting a better life for their countries, knowing that we can have a better life in Africa, but the leaders that are responsible for our lives, they're not doing their part. And therefore they're stepping outside. It's not like back in the days, people, I think they were not aware. But right now, people understand and know that, oh, our countries are rich and we have everything it takes for us to be prosperous. Okay, take a look at what is happening in the UK right now. All blacks and all other people of color are being targeted because of that little guy, the little guy who killed like three kids. And now there's a lot of demonstration in the entire countries of Europe, wanting all the black people to be gone, wanting all the Muslim people to be gone, because of whatever thoughts they're thinking about. Like, if one black man have committed crime, then all of these guys are criminals. So they should get out of our countries. This is how, let me just say, this is how white people respond to what we do in their countries. But we know that there's so many illegal issues been going on in our countries, and our people being killed in our country by them, but we stay silent and we do nothing. So these people standing up for themselves in Nigeria, in Kenya, wanting a change, wanting a better life in our countries, because there's no other place we could go. For example, the country of Malaysia has already warned its people not to go to the UK because of the violence that is going on there over, you know, non-British people, and not even non-British people, like people who do not look like them, because they don't care. If you're black, you're British, they don't care. They're going to attack you. You might be killed as well. So that is to say, it has to tell you that there's no safe place for a black man anywhere in this world. So when our people right now are rising up and fighting for the continent, because they realize that there's no better life anywhere else than here in Africa, and leaders, you cannot let us down. So for that, for me, I support. As long as there's no violence, I support. It's very important to speak for ourselves, to want a better governance. I support 100%. But what I do not support is what I call savior syndrome. So today I actually wrote an article. I wrote an article about savior syndrome, and I published it on my X. So please go and check it out. This is very important. It's just very short, you know, article. Please go and check it out. I just posted today morning. But I'm gonna read just a definition of savior syndrome. What does it mean? This is psychological disorder characterized by a constant need for gratitude and recognition from others. This syndrome includes an empathy and continuous need for sacrifice for others, and it also referred to as codependence. So I think, and this is what I wrote, just the introduction, I'll read for it, that the inclination of African countries to sever ties with former colonizers and establish new relationship with Russia or China is not a bold move, but rather a sign of a savior syndrome. It illustrates how deeply Africans have been affected, leading them to lack belief in themselves and instead look to those with white skin for validation. I'm not going to read all of it. Please, you can go and check it out, and you can read all of the article is available on my X, Mika Chavala. All right. So that is savior syndrome. And I think Africa is in a huge trouble because we Africans, we're struggling with this syndrome. Okay, we have seen what happened in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. These countries, they break their ties from France. Niger, they break their ties from United States. And actually, all of the soldiers left United States. But you know what? They replaced with Russian soldiers coming to the country. And we've seen Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger siding with Russia. Russia is in a war with Ukraine. So what happened in Mali is that Ukraine supported the rebel group in Mali to fight against Russia, and also killed a lot of soldiers in Mali who are Malians. So as a result, Africa become a collateral damage because two powers are fighting, Russia and Ukraine. So if Mali is siding with Russia, then Ukraine, it doesn't care about Mali anymore. It's going to fight with Russians, not in Russia or in Ukraine, but in Mali, and killing our people. So Mali break their ties with the Ukraine. That's a bold move. But I think that is not the sustainable solution, because the problem that we face is that we constantly find who we can rely on, who can stand with us to support our issue, who can we depend on to support us. So we're breaking ties with France and Americans. Now we are going to Russia or China. All right. The same thing is happening in Nigeria. Young people who are demonstrating, you know what they're holding? They're holding Russian flags. What is significant does it hold? Holding a Russian flag as you demonstrate. It tells you that we don't want nobody else, but we want Russia in our country. We acknowledge these guys, we love these guys, and we want them in our country. This is savior syndrome, that we cannot deal with Americans anymore. We cannot deal with France anymore. We cannot deal with European anymore. Now we want to deal with Chinese, and we want to deal with what? With Russian. Savior syndrome is disturbing Africa, and is disturbing our people. This does not help us anything. Yes, we can demonstrate. Yes, we can want change in our leadership. Yes, we can want change in our countries. But holding Russian flag in your own country while you're demonstrating, it shows where your patriotism is. Why not holding Nigerian flag while you're demonstrating? What I'm trying to say is this, that I agree with people demonstrating and wanting a change in the leadership. And you know, I've always been on that side. But what I do not agree is us trying to find the next savior of our countries. What does that message, like, what are we sending that message to Russia or to other countries out there? But Africa now want Russia to be their masters. Africa now want Russia to be part of their change. It doesn't hold any significant meaning holding Russian flag in your sovereign country. Let me tell you this. I am in the side of the people. I'm in the side of the people of Africa. I supported Kenyan people demonstrating Gen Z. I supported them, but they're not holding a Russian flag. Most of them, they're holding Kenyan flag because we got to show where our patriot lies. Where do we want our people to be? But holding Russian flag in the western side of Africa, this does not give us a good meaning. It shows that we need a next savior. What does it tell to Russia? Today, Putin can come to Africa and be celebrated as the president of Africa. Yes, it's okay. We can love Putin. You can love anyone you want, but wanting them to be your next savior, it doesn't mean anything. You're demonstrating your country because of the hardship of their lives. That's good. We should do that. But holding Russian flag while doing that, the same thing happened to Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. What does that do? What is it going to put us in a position? I'm telling you, Russia is in trouble. It has always been trouble with America. Who is right? Who is wrong? That is not discussion to discuss today. But what I'm saying is what I see happening in Africa is that we're going to see a lot of death happening in Africa, not because Africans are fighting against each other, but because of these superpowers are fighting with each other in our land. Why? Because we welcome them and we saw that we need them to come in here. Why don't you hold Nigerian flag? Why don't you hold African Union flag? Why don't we, Africa, come together, figuring out the way to stick together, to support each other, to stand with one another, to change this continent for our people and for our people only, and not by wanting another savior out there to come and to support us. No. No, we are able to do anything. We're able to change anything, but not like this. This is not the right way, Africans. This is not the right way, Nigerians. Demonstrate, hold your country's flag and not any other thing. Africa, we need to get out of this savior syndrome. For how long are we going to want to be slave to somebody? For how long are we going to want to be dependents? For how long? We can be independent. We are able. We are capable. Why don't we just hold our own flag, showing the solidarity that African people have and the pride that we have in ourselves, that we are capable to do anything by ourselves without needing anyone to stand with us, but only African to stick together and to hold our flags. Where does your loyalty lies? Is it on Russia? Savior syndrome is something huge, and sadly it's not just happening to our people, but it's also we also see this in our leaders when they run after one government after another one to beg for the loans and aid, and we know the conditions under those loans come with. We cannot stand. Where does our loyalty lies? Where does your loyalty lie? Yes, the life in Nigeria has been getting pretty messed up. Yes, there's need to change that. And my honest advice to the government of Nigeria, I've seen that they've threatened Nigerians who are demonstrating and holding Russian flags. Yes, I understand that, but this is what President Ruto said before when he started to condemn these riots. But as a result, you know what has happened. You can't threat the people because they have nothing to lose. You got to figure out the way to change things and not threatening them. They reject you, figure out the way how you're going to change things. And for the people of Africa, for the people of Nigerians, you don't have to hold Russian flag in your own country. You don't have to. Yes, we can collaborate with these people, but not by holding their flags. You're not Russian. Because them, if they demonstrate there, they will never hold your flag. Never hold your flag. The matter of fact, go to Europe today. See how Africans are being treated there because of this one man who did mistakes. 17 years old who killed 3 girls. See what they're doing to your people there. They will never hold your flag. They'll never look up to you. They're scared of you. They look at you as a criminal. They look at you as cursed. And they don't want nothing to do with you. Why can't you get that? One person did a horrible mistake and all of the African people are criminals. Nobody can go to the UK today because of what has happened. I'm going to come here and tell you a story of one Tanzanian lady who her husband wants her to be killed. He took all of our children and he wants her wife, because she's Tanzanian, she's black, because of what has happened. And she has been abused for many years. She's been fed like a dog, living outside the street, living like outside of the main house. This is what happened to our people. Are they going to hold your flag? Okay, that is not Russia, somewhere else. But what I'm trying to say is, man, Africa comes first. You must love your country first. You must love your people first before anybody else. But today, even if our leaders are not doing their job, you cannot punishing them by holding Russian flag in your country. No, that is not punishing them. That is showing how dumb you are. That is showing how not prideful you are with your own country. Hold your own country flag. Come on, people, you can do better than this. You can do things in a better way. Show solidarity with one another, with our people, to defend our countries and not otherwise. And I just want to know your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts, man? If you think I'm wrong, let me know. You know, why do you think I'm wrong? If you think I'm right, let me know. But also you can share your own opinion down in the comment section. I'll see you guys very soon. Love you.